Hey, it's Chuck Armstrong with Loudwire Nights, and this is Loudwire Nights On Demand. We had Tyler Connolly of Theory of a Deadman on the show talking all about their Unplugged tour, his friendship with Corey Marks, and what's on their horizon as far as new music goes. This conversation first aired on Thursday, October 10th. You're going to enjoy this one. Well, it's kind of crazy to believe, and I do want to talk about it tonight, but Theory of a Deadman have been making music since 1999. 25 years ago, Tyler Connolly formed the band, and since then, Theory have toured the world, released 8 studio albums, several number one songs over the years. That's just scratching the surface on what this band has done and accomplished over their career. Now they're gearing up for the Unplugged tour that kicks off on October 18th at the Factory in St. Louis. It wraps up right before Thanksgiving in Omaha. Tonight we are talking about all of this with the man himself, Tyler Connolly. Tyler, thanks for hanging, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
When you hear all of that, 25 years, 8 albums, on and on and on, what runs through your head?
Plastic surgery.
You look great, man. Yeah.
You start seeing stuff pops up on social media about, like, these people have these pages where they look at famous actors, and then they tell you, the plastic surgeon tells you what stuff they've had done. Oh, they've had a facelift, a tuck, and they put this much stuff in their cheeks. It's interesting to see. Like, it makes you very vain, this job. So over the years, like, it's great to just age gracefully, but once in a while you'll get a fan that says, like, something that kind of irks you. They'll say something like, "Man, why you guys are looking old," or so. They'll say something, they don't mean it, but, like, one fan of the day, like, he noticed that, like, I'd shaved my little, like, soul patch thing. He's like, "We shaved it. Why'd you shave it?" And I'm like, "'Cause it's gray." Because it's gray now. So
thanks for making me say that out loud.
That's not going to look good if I dye it. It's going to look weird. So I just shave it.
Do you spend a lot of time looking back, like thinking about your career, looking back on the albums, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's fun. Like, I think when you're in the midst of it, it's you're kind of in the trenches, I guess, metaphorically. So you're just grinding. You're out there. You're just making a record, then you're touring, and all of a sudden you go, "Oh my God, like 10 years has passed," or like even RX came out in 2017. And so in just over 2 years, RX will been out for 10 years. It's just weird. It doesn't make sense. We're like, no, that's a new song, right? Right, guys? So you do a lot of looking back and going, what has happened? But I'm sure everyone does it. It's been a great ride. Like, I remember jamming with these guys, since the late 90s, talking about doing gigs. We used to do this stupid thing in my basement where we would turn off all the lights and just have, like, a couple lights on, then we would practice playing in the dark. Or we would turn around and I would practice where I wouldn't face the band. 'Cause usually when you jam, you're facing the drummer. Everyone can see one another. So we would turn around so we would pretend we were on stage. There's these silly things that, like, we would think would help. I should turn around so I can't see what you're going to do, so we could practice playing.
So that's
in the
your
dark.
secret, man. That's your secret. You just shared it, man. When you guys started jamming, in the late 90s, and this started taking shape, like, what was the goal for you, man?
We never had any, like, ridiculous goals. Like, I don't think we ever sat around and go, like, "Man, it'd be great to be, like, rock star." I don't think any of us really cared. I think we just enjoyed playing music. I can't remember ever having a conversation about, like, business models or things we wanted to accomplish. Really, it was all vague. I think we just enjoyed playing music. And then once we got a record deal, it all happened, like, overnight. It was, like, ridiculously how fast you went from having a day job. I remember me and Dave quit our jobs on the same day. It was December 24th, day before Christmas. We quit our jobs. And then we were in the studio recording December 26th. And it was just like, that was it. I never even went back home. When we started touring, we got, we flew out to do our first tour, and I never went home, ever. Like, I remember, like, all my stuff was packed in garbage bags and given to me. Like, it was just it was a crazy thing. I don't know. But we never really discussed anything other than just like, hey, let's play music for a living.
I love that, man. As that took shape, I mean, as you got the record deal, as you toured, as you made records, did you start finding yourself thinking of, like, all right, no, I do have this goal, or I do want to do this, I want to do that?
Yeah, I think over the years they change. Like when you're starting out, it'd be cool to like any special venues. Like there'll be a special venue in where we grew up in Vancouver. Like, oh, we want to sell that place out. It's called the Commodores, this ballroom that's like kind of. I used to go watch bands play. My first show ever was at the Commodore Ballroom, seeing Ice-T for the Iceberg tour. Yeah, awesome. This is like 1990, probably 1980, probably late 80s.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Every band probably has the same thing. You want to sell out some local venue, and then you do that, and then there's another one. Like, well, let's sell out this, or let's get a number one single, or let's go to this place. I always wanted to play Wembley or play Madison Square Garden. And so you slowly tick off all these things. So now it's like, for us, I think it's more or less destination hunting. We're like, well, it'd be great to go play a show in Mexico, right, guys? Like, I think for us, like, we've done so much. We'd love to keep, getting more number one singles and stuff like that. But yeah, as we get older, I think the guys think about, well, where can we play that I can fly my family out to?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little different these days, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's look ahead then. This Unplugged tour, you've got a ton of special guests at different shows, from Adelaide's Way and Corey Marks to 10 Years and Citizen Soldier and Escape the Fate. I know about 10 years ago you released the Angel acoustic EP. Have you toured Unplugged like this before?
We did once. I don't think we ever we did it in Canada. I don't know if we did it in the United States. And it was great. It was so awesome. We actually had like a kabuki drop. So we had like a backdrop, and it was like a trailer park kind of thing. And then when a part of the set, we would roll out this small kit, and we had this like fake turf with lawn chairs. So we kind of made it look like a trailer park, kind of. But all the fans loved it. They're like, you guys should do this all the time. And it really was fun. That was years ago. That was 10 years ago, maybe. So we've been kind of talking about it. So yeah, this is, we have done it before, but this is kind of the first kind of big one where we're really spending a lot of time and money on the set and building stuff. And it's going to be a really cool look this time around.
Is it straight up unplugged like you guys are? I mean, obviously not literally unplugged, but it's going to be a night of pure acoustic songs from you guys?
Yeah, so it'll be full band. It's just like we're kind of more like Alice in Chains Unplugged, like MTV Unplugged. Yeah, so everyone's playing, so it'll be full drums and bass, and we have an auxiliary player who's coming out, and he'll do keyboards. He's going to bring stuff like saxophone, mandolin. So he'll be playing these like other instruments kind of to add. So it'll be full band, but it's just no electric guitars. So we try to tell people it's not going to be four guys on stools doing like more than words. Because I think that kind of can deter people from going. If it's like, it's going to be an hour and a half with just them on stools. I don't know. It's like, yeah. So this is more going to be, it's going to be a rock show. It's going to be more like, Signs by Tesla. Remember they did that?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And it creates more of like, it's like an unplugged atmosphere, right? Like you said, like MTV Unplugged, like just that kind of vibe.
Yeah. And I think, you can go and play some of the hits and some of the songs. They're just going to sound a little different. I think people are really be curious to hear what it sounds like to do Bad Girlfriend with acoustic guitars. Like, how are you going to pull that off? It's like, well, we'll find out.
Well, I was going to ask you, is it like from a mindset perspective, you're so used to rehearsing, prepping for like a full blown rock show. Is it different for you to prepare for this tour? Like how is that for you?
Yeah, we're going to have to do some rehearsals and figure out like how we're going to really present a few songs. We kind of got it all down, but yeah, there may be some things like where I don't want to just sit. I don't want to be sitting on a stool. So the guys expect me to get up and walk around for certain songs. So there may be some songs where I don't play guitar, where I can just go sing and walk around and stuff. We're going to do some crowd stuff too. I think we're going to pull some people on stage from the crowd. We've never done that before. So we're going to have like a couch or some chairs and pull some people up. I think we're going to have a bar. I'm sure it's fine, but it might make some people some drinks. But we're trying to find some cool stuff to do to be like interactive and not just be like presenting something people can just watch. That can be a part of it. So
I love that, man.
the songs themselves, like, we're going to play some songs we haven't played in a long time, or ever maybe. But it's tough. It's tough to pick a set and then figure out. There's definitely some songs where I'm just like, guys, I don't think I can pull this off acoustic. And they're like, forget it. So it'd be interesting. It's going to be really good.
I was going to say, like a setting like that, probably lends itself to being able to play some deep cuts or things that you wouldn't normally.
Yeah, and it's also like you can't hide. So I think one of the things too was being able to do it, and so it's almost so people like, well, this has to sound good. There's no way to mask. You can't have a bunch of tracks running. You can't there's no lip syncing. Like it's real. So I think it's also for us like something to go out there and be like, I think people would be very impressed if we can pull off some of this stuff acoustically with 3-part harmonies and stuff. I think people will be like, this is how it should be. Okay. So we're looking forward to that. The organic part of it too.
Yeah. Right on, man. I mentioned Corey Marks, as one of the special guests on the tour, which is cool for a few different reasons, but one reason is he just helped you with the new version of Living My Life Like a Country Song. Have you and Corey known each other for a while? Like, have you guys been friends? Have you guys played together before?
Yeah, so he asked me to sing on one of his songs, Blame It on the Double, a few years ago. Jason Hook also played on that song from Five Finger, and that's where I met him. And so we shot a video, and we shot actually not far from my house, which was nice. I could just roll up. And then, we've been friends since I came out. They played in Vegas, so we went out to Vegas during a Five Finger show, and I went out and did the song with Corey. So I think it was his label or his management hit us up and said, "Hey, we'd love for Corey to come out on this tour with you guys, but what if you guys also did a song together?" And we're like, let's do it. We're down 100%. So I don't even think we even picked the song. I think somebody was like, what about that? You guys had that song called Live My Life Like a Country Song. Why don't we re-recorded it? Because the original had Joe Don Rooney from Rascal Flatts on it. But it was great, but it was very country. Like we try to make it like it's a country song. So this time we really wanted to make it rock with the country singer kind of thing. And it turned out great. Corey is a great singer. I tell people all the time, like, the guy can sing. So he did a great job. So looking forward to that. Yeah,
I can't wait. I mean, it's all these special guests you have, man. It's really it's going to be a full night, right? Like, it's not something you want to show up late to.
Yeah. I always tell people too, like, I can't remember who we were talking to, but because sometimes we have bands that come out with us, we're like, well, is that going to work? Is that going to match? Is that going to meld well? And I always say, like, our fans are the best fans. They're interested in music. They're not just like Theory of a Deadman. They just like rock music. So, like, we rarely, if ever, had a band come out with us and our fans are like, boo, this sucks. It's always like, who was that? What? And then they just love them. They're wearing their shirts. We're like, we were buying their shirts. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So we love that about our fans. They really are welcoming. We tell people all the time, like, dude, you never have to walk on stage and be worried that they're going to be throwing stuff at you. Like, we're not that kind of band. Our fans are not those kind of people. They love music. So it's going to be great. Yeah, get there early.
Well, I love hearing that too, because like Corey Marks, he blends the worlds of country and rock, and I mean, Theory. You guys are no strangers to not fitting nicely into any one genre or anything like that. And I think that song with Corey is a good example of that. So what would you say to a fan? Because I hear it, man. We play Jelly Roll, we play Hardy, all these kinds of artists who sort of blend those worlds. What would you say to a fan who says, like, oh man, you got to keep that country out of my rock?
I mean, to each their own. Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about music is you have all the freedom to listen to whatever you want to. Especially nowadays, there's no reason to be forced to have to listen to something and be like, why am I listening? It's like eating Brussels sprouts when you're an adult. You don't have to do it anymore, guys. Stop buying Brussels sprouts. Problem solved. So, but that's what I love about music is that, there's fans and there's people that just maybe don't like certain things. I'm all about like the amalgamation. Like I told you, my first concert ever was Ice-T. When I was a kid, I listened to a lot of rap. And what I loved about rap, especially as it got into like the 90s, was like everyone was always on everyone else's track.
Right.
There's always someone featuring someone. And it was just like, these guys are all just like friends, or what's the deal? Like, and then it was like, now I think rock has finally caught up, and they're doing this kind of thing where like rock is finally, now they're putting out a song and every song has someone on it. And of course I've been preaching this for years to our label. Like, we got to put someone on the song. They're like, no way. It's too hard, because then it's like you have to deal with another label, and it's ownership, and it's such a pain in the butt. But a lot of that rap stuff was indie, so they could just do whatever they wanted. So, but yeah, with the country rock thing, I've always liked country, and I love Hardy, man, oh man, and Jelly Roll. They're both great, but they can, they're good enough where they can do both. Yeah, I like Hardy's his message too. I like that song he has about like the guy leaves a letter in his guitar case, tell him to quit.
Yeah.
I love it. That's like, and it's just right up my alley. That's the kind of stuff that I would write, just about some note, some guy leaves you and you're quit. I love it. That's just like, I love it. Love that stuff.
Yeah. I'm all for, man. I'm all for the gates being opened wider and wider. I think it's a good thing. I think rap and hip hop's a great example too. And you're right. Yeah. Now it seems like rock has caught up. We see more special guests and features and all of that. And it's cool to see.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's keep looking ahead, man. So you wrap this tour up. I imagine you'll rest a little bit as the year wraps up, but then next year's going to be getting close to the 3rd anniversary of Dinosaur, your latest album. And you've been pretty good at releasing a new record every few years over your career. Should fans expect new music in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, the whole record's pretty much written. So we have to figure out some timing. The timing now honestly comes down to touring. So, because we don't want to put out a record or put out a song and then just sit at home. So for us, like, I think we have to unfortunately go away for a little bit. So I would say next fall, probably. We were talking about putting something out like in June, but that's like, we'd have to have, like, people don't understand how long it takes to do stuff. So like we would have to have it all recorded like probably already, or like maybe by the end of the year. So I would say like perfect world, have something maybe out in the summer, end of the summer, and then have a fall tour or something. But yeah, like it's tough. We'd love to just continuously tour, but we have to let the dust settle for a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. You said the whole record is pretty much written. Last time you were on the show, you told us that when you write music, you almost always hit a wall where you kind of have the feeling like, I quit. Like I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. 25 years into it, still writing new music. How do you handle that, man? Like, how do you keep that from actually stopping you as a songwriter, as a performer, as an artist?
I still love doing it. I think that's what it is. I think some people, they feel forced. I have to go forced. Oh, go write with these songwriters. You got to put out stuff. I just love writing the songs. So I think that's what keeps me motivated, is that like I'll wake up and just write a song. And so there's a song that was written maybe 2 or 3 months ago now. Everyone loves the song. They just love it. And it's usually just like once you kind of write a specific song for the new record, and then everyone just starts to feel the energy. Everyone's just like, oh, that's really good. Oh, I'm excited for people to hear that one. So yeah. And then it just kind of snowballs from there. And
I imagine, man, 8 albums, 25 years, all of that into your career, to still write a song and people have that response, or people are like, oh man, I love that, or there's energy around it. Like, that probably never gets old.
No, I mean, there's definitely two sides. It's a dichotomous career, because songwriting, music making, and touring are two completely different things. It's almost like you're building the roller coaster, and then the touring is riding the roller coaster. So it's like, I love touring. I love performing, but I also, it's completely different to build something and see it and then go out and tour it. To me, that's the whole thing. It's like you're creating something. So I was a songwriter before I was a touring musician. So for me, like, the building process is, that I if one day like something happens and I can't tour anymore, hopefully it never happens, but songwriting is something I hope I can do till I die. I just love putting something together.
Right on, man. Well, a lot to look forward to. Tyler Connolly, thank you so much for hanging tonight. The new tour is gearing up. You can get dates at loudwire.com and always stay up to date with everything in Theory's world at theoryofficial.com. Tyler, it's always good hanging, man, and hopefully we can chat again soon.
Yeah, good to see you.
That wraps up this episode of Loudwire Nights on Demand. Stay caught up with everything happening in the world of rock and metal on the Loudwire app and at loudwire.com.